6 secrets rich people are afraid poor people will discover. Rich people are different from poor people. This seems obvious, but the difference is not where you would imagine it at first glance. Of course, rich people have a lot of money, while poor people fight very hard on a daily basis to try to earn just enough to survive. The fundamental difference between rich and poor people, however, is more at the mental level. Indeed, rich people have a very specific mindset which poor people do not have and which makes all the difference in life. This mindset can be found in 6 great secrets that rich people master perfectly but that they absolutely do not want poor people to discover. I would even go so far as to say that it frightens them in a certain sense. In this story, I propose you to discover in detail these 6 secrets. If you take advantage of them correctly throughout your life, then you will eventually become a millionaire. 1. You never will be rich with a 9-to-5 job. Throughout your youth, you are taught that you have to work hard. First you have to work hard in high school so that you can go to a great university. Then you have to work hard at university to get a very good 9-to-5 job in a big company. This very good job will give you some financial comfort once you exceed $100,000 per year. However, despite the false impression you may have at first, it is not with this job and this $100,000 salary that you will become rich. Indeed, to earn this $100,000 per year, you must work every day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at least. This type of 9-to-5 job is a trap because it actually forces you to exchange your time for money. You only earn money when you work. At night when you sleep, for example, you do not earn money. In this regard, Warren Buffett, one of the richest men on the planet, says something very eloquent. Rich people don't want you to discover this secret because they employ people like you to make their businesses prosper. So rich people use your time to become even richer while giving you a very small portion of the wealth created. So if you want to become rich, you should think about starting your own business and simply become your own boss. By doing so, you will give yourself the chance to create something that allows you to earn money while you sleep, which will allow you to become really rich and not have to work until you die. 2. You must always pay yourself first. People who became rich quickly understood something essential about the money they earn month after month. This secret is not mastered by poor people. Once they earn their wages, poor people will first pay all their bills and the loans they have often taken out to pay for a car or other things that cost a lot of money. After paying others, poor people realize that they have no more money. In some cases, they even find themselves in financial overdraft, which will make their situation even more complex. Rich people don't have that mindset. Rich people pay themselves first whatever it happens. Let's say you have a project to create a company and you need a starting amount of $10,000. The best way to do this will be to define a plan over a year with an amount that you will put aside each month to get this amount needed to launch your business. As soon as your salary falls into your bank account, you will set aside $500 or $1,000 depending on your means. By doing so, you will be paid first. You will pay the others with what you have left. Don't you have enough money left? It's up to you to better manage your personal finances by reducing your expenses and needs. Get back to basics by adopting a minimalist approach. In any case, over time, you will have been able to set aside the money you need to carry out your projects, allowing you to leave your 9-to-5 job for something that maximizes your chances of getting rich. 3. You need to leverage the power of compound interests. Albert Einstein is probably one of the smartest people who ever lived on Earth. His theories revolutionized the world and still impact us in our daily lives. If you have never heard of compound interest and its importance, I will remind you of what Albert Einstein said about it. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it, he who doesn't, pays it. Rich people don't want you to discover the power of compound interest because people who remain ignorant pay for those who control them, as Albert Einstein said. In order to become rich one day, you absolutely must learn to use compound interest to your advantage. When you go to invest, you must reincorporate into the capital initially invested the interest earned over time to gradually increase it. If you do so, you will make a long-term difference to your investments and your money will actually work for you. The notion of the long term being 30, 50 years or even more. 4. Investing is the only way to prevent inflation from devaluing what you own. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, current prices are 212% higher than average prices in 1980. Thus, the U.S. dollar has experienced an average inflation of 2.96% per year over the past 40 years. The real value of the U.S. dollar has declined steadily since 1980. An American must therefore have $312 in his possession in order for his buying power in 2019 to be equivalent to his buying power of $100 in 1980. In other words, the US dollar of 2019 lets you buy less things than the US dollar of 1980. Rich people understood that there was no guarantee that one United States dollar of the present is equal to one United States dollar of the future. In order to fight inflation and preserve what they own, rich people are going to resort massively to investment. Rich people invest in the stock market, real estate or gold. In short, they diversify their investments to limit risk and preserve what they own. In most cases, they even make wise investments that allow them to outperform inflation and thus earn money over time. Investing is a must if you want to get rich someday. 5. You must buy assets, not liabilities. Getting rich is hard. Staying rich over the long term is even more difficult. So before you even think about becoming rich, you need to learn how to manage your personal finances properly. When it comes to personal finance, Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, is a good reference. This book, which has been a huge success, highlights the fundamental difference between assets and liabilities. An asset is something that you are going to buy and make money from. An asset enriches you over time. A liability is something you are going to buy that doesn't make you money. Worse yet, a liability costs you money. As a result of accumulating liabilities, many people find themselves stuck in their 9-to-5 jobs in order to pay the costs associated with these liabilities. You have therefore understood that you must give priority to assets while limiting liabilities to the bare minimum. This approach will help you better manage what you own and grow richer over time. Assets bring you freedom while liabilities bring you very strong constraints removing you from freedom. By having adopted this philosophy of life, you will get richer and better yet, you will be able to maintain your wealth over time because you won't spend thoughtlessly on liabilities. 6. Never spend more money than you earn. When you look at the lifestyle of millionaires and billionaires, you get the impression that they spend their money like crazy. They give themselves very expensive pleasures. You might get the illusion that these millionaires spend without thinking. Of course, some people may fall into this trap by spending too much money. Millionaires who make that mistake usually don't stay that way for very long. Those who stay rich for a long time spend a lot but make sure they never spend more than they earn. This is an essential thing to understand. If your business earns you $10,000 a day without any special effort, you can very well make a one-time pleasure out of depending on $10,000 in a single day. This is a huge figure for the average person, but since you'll regain the same amount tomorrow, you can afford it. At your level, you must act in the same way by never spending more than you earn. This will allow you to avoid taking credits for things you can't afford. The credits simply trap and impoverish you. Rich people know that. If you don't want to stay poor all your life, you will have to integrate this golden rule and apply it no matter what happens. If one day you want to pay for something and you can't yet afford it, you will have to wait until you earn the money to pay for it. And who knows, by that time, the urge may have disappeared and you will realize that this need may not have been so essential to your life. Rich people have integrated a number of good habits that they apply in their daily lives. These habits have enabled them to make a fortune but also to maintain their wealth over time. These secrets are well kept because rich people benefit from the ignorance of poor people to maintain their wealth. If you do not want to remain a poor person throughout your life, you will have to integrate these secrets and put them into practice in your daily life. You will then be in an ideal position to eventually become rich one day, and better yet, to remain rich.